So, I went to Shock Stock this weekend. Had a fucking good time. I can show you the little poster thing here of who was there. I actually got to work as media, filming shit. So they're doing like, they had a bunch of panels with people like Joe Bob Briggs. They screened a film called The Freak Maker on 16mm. He sat in the audience. He did a like an opening, like a 20-minute opening to the film. Talked after. It was great. So being able to see that and film it like for the Shock Stock, like it was fucking cool. Sleazy P. Martini from Guar, Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp, Tim Capello from Lost Boys playing the sax. I still believe that dude. He played it live too. It was fucking crazy. Someone got married at Shock Stock. Like it was nuts. Cleo Valentine actually wasn't there. She's a porn star. If she was there, I didn't see her. David Howard Thornton, who was the Terrifier and the director, Damien Leon. So, yeah, it was badass. One of my films actually played at Shock Stock as well, Midnight Marauder. You can find that on my channel. So let's get into the haul. The haul is aplenty. There's stuff that I know people are going to enjoy. We'll start with the book stuff real fast, and I'll just kind of plow through this. There's a guy named Zombie Jesus. You can find him on Instagram. He's always at conventions, and he dresses up as Jesus with like a thorn thing, and he's got blood. It's crazy, but I don't know if he draws these or what, but I've bought a couple of these issues in the past, but he had a good deal on buying all 5 of them, so I bought all 5 of them. The first one's Zombie Jesus versus Vampire Elvis. And to give you a quick sample of the artwork, let me find a really... Oh, there's a cool picture of Elvis. Here's Elvis with like a bunch of broad. This black and white, of course. Fantastic artwork. I'm not sure who does the art. The art is it's written and lettered by Ira Hunter and illustrated by Joel Shelton. So Joel Shelton, you fucking are a good artist. I like your stuff. I don't want to spoil this for myself because I want to read it, but there's that one. And then we got Zombie Jesus versus Robot Hitler issue 2. I'll show some art. Oh, fuck, this is cool. It's like a Nazi Ed 209. What's he saying? Robot Hitler Prime initialized and online. Prepare for devastation. And then Zombie Jesus says, whatever you say, Tin Dick. Like, it's so fucking crazy. Next one is Zombie Jesus versus Robot Hitler issue 1. I have the variant cover of this in the house. So, that's pretty fucking funny. They get more insane. Zombie Jesus versus Michael Jackson. And there's a page I gotta show you in here. It's so fucking cool. Look at this. Zombie Michael Jackson with like his fucking bear, like a bunch of zombie Boy Scouts. It's so fucking cool. Let's see what he's saying. You have no idea how long I've been searching for you. Since faking my death, I've been obsessed with finding you and completing my collection. Stem cell injections, self-performed plastic surgery, and embryonic blood transfusions have kept me alive this long. It's a good thing I had a stocked wine cellar to keep these cute little these little Cub Scouts happy. Now join my freak show of distinguished oddities. Like, so crazy. Like, yeah. Zombie Jesus is the man. And the last one, and the most cool one in my opinion, is Zombie Jesus versus George A. Romero. With like a really cool back cover as well. With George Romero's got his classic diet of coffee and cigarettes. I'm glad that they stuck to the realism. Like, very great art. Very cool stuff. Check this stuff out on Instagram. I don't know if the art's on Instagram, but you can check out Zombie Jesus on Instagram. Here's Tom Savini. Like, it's so fucking cool. Next is this is the show program, and for 2019. So you got a bunch of like alien chicks watching a bunch of tapes, and then it has like a little coloring page of like the two dudes that run Shock Stock, and then list of the guests and stuff. So you had like, and if you look at this table of contents, like cunt, it's hilarious. You had like Matt Carr, who did some artwork that I'll show pretty soon that I bought off him. You had Witchfinger Podcast, Sleazy P. Martini, Monsters of Schlock, Joe Bob, like a lot of cool people. So very badass. And matter of fact, it has all the short films that played in the different festival, the different blocks. My friend Dave got one of his films in, his experimental, called Through the Messima. I'm butchering that name. I never could say it. But my film, Midnight Marauder, is actually listed right here. You can see it says directed by Ricky Paradis. Fucking badass. I'm a part of Shock Stock and immortalized in paper, you know what I mean? So I'm in the 2018 one with The Locker and Afro Death, and now this one with Midnight Marauder, and I'm very proud of that. A couple little freebie things. There wasn't much of free shit, to be honest with you, that I was interested in anyway. This is the guy that did this artwork I'm about to show. He's a guy named, you can find him on Instagram at Putrid Gore Art. His name's Putrid Matt, and he's responsible for these prints that I bought. These prints, he sold me these three prints for $5, so I was like, fuck, why not? Very Wrightson-esque. Very Wrightson-esque. Yeah. When I seen this shit, I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, that's so cool. This is a poster for a band I've never even heard of, but I was just in love with the artwork because it's like moon-related, werewolf-related. Fucking badass, man. They're just like Xeroxes, but they're cool. This is the one that drew me to the table. Got Fluffy from Creepshow. So fucking cool. Here's a sticker from Shock Stock. The original, the best, the real Horror Weekend. It's fucking dope. I filmed this guy playing music. Here's a magnet and here's a sticker. And it's thehouseofhaunt.com. I'm not sure what... he's a musician, but I think he had something to do with a movie or something. But this right here is Holy Mountain Printing. This is a sticker. They printed those prints that I just showed. Moving on to some films. We got Strike Commando. This is a DVD-R, but it was cheap. Cool, kind of reminds me of Contra, the artwork of Contra. We got Fear in the Dark, which is a documentary, horror documentary with like a super cheesy, fucking very cheesy cover on the disc. We got Primal Rage, which looks cool. I've never heard of that. I feel like I have heard of that, but I've never seen it. We got a Jeffrey Combs film, Dead Man Walking. A dude with a gun. Starring Wings Hauser. Never heard of him. But very cool. A couple of books I bought that are not comic books. This is a book on blaxploitation films called What It Is, What It Was. And it's written by Gerald Martinez, Diana Martinez, and Andres Chavez. So 3 Spanish-sounding people wrote the book on blaxploitation. There's, oh my god. There's a write-up for every film in here, and it's got the cast, the director, and a plot. It's almost like Leonard Maltin for blaxploitation, but the write-ups are shorter. Badass, but it's more or less a poster book with articles. So there's Blackula. Blackula again. Random. You know, just lots of cool shit in here. The Black Six. I think that's, yes, okay, so the Black Six, I believe, goes by another name, and these are all fucking football players. So you had Mean Joe Green, Willie Lanier, Mercury Morris, Gene Washington, Carl Eller, and Lem Barney, all playing like these badasses. So, yeah, that's really cool. I want to find one more poster to show you guys, something badass. If I can find it. There's like a really cool horror poster, like this dude. Fuck, probably won't be able to find it. God damn it. Figures. Superfly. It's a good film. This next book is going to make VZ Madness jealous. I know that for a fact. This is the Japanese cult film companion, Tokyo Scope. It's got a set... this one isn't a poster book. It's more like there's a little bit of artwork in between the sections, but it's mostly mostly like this kind of deal. But it covers, like, the sections go like this. And this is also by Patrick Macias, by the way. And there's a forward by Kinji Fukasaku, who directed Cops vs. Thugs. And there's an afterword by Takashi Miike, who directed Ichi the Killer, which I bought. I don't put pins on my jacket, but I bought this Ichi the Killer pin for $1. And then I also bought, because I have a Alberto Lenzi Demons patch on the back of this jacket, like a big one. I got the little Demons button as well. But the sections of this book go like this. Giant monsters. So he reviews like Godzilla, Gamera, Gappa, War of the Gargantuas, and others. And then there's a section on exploitation, how to make monster movies, the making of Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. There's a huge section on Sonny Chiba where they talk about all kinds of movies. You talk about Sonny's best screen kills, the Sonny Video Roundup. There's an 8-page section on Shogun Assassin. There's a great big section on horror films. So they talk about like Tokyo, the Last Megalopolis, Body Snatch from Hell, The Ghosts of Yotsua, Claws of Iron, The Ring, all kinds of other stuff. And there's a huge section on Yakuza films. Like, I know VZ Madness would be like, motherfucker, I want that book. You know what I mean? Very cool. I'll definitely put this on the shelf with my Yakuza film book. Like, this is the kind of shit that I'm really after, because I love having a book in my hand, being able to go. It's one of those near perfect days on this Asian sounding city's name in Japan's famed bullet train. As it travels from Shinjuku through the Kyoto area at the end of the line of Hakata, all of a sudden, this is an announcement. A heartless person has planted a bomb on the train. It is as if someone's popped open a can of instant panic. A pregnant woman promptly goes into labor. Passengers clash over the payphone, and salarymen threaten to leap from the train in order to make their business meetings. Making matters worse, an amateur film crew on board rudely starts rolling their cameras, explaining they are documenting the terror on a doomed train. All aboard Bullet Train Big Explosion, a disaster movie mega production with superlative cast containing nearly everyone on the tow payroll. Like, I'm not gonna read the whole fucking review, but shit like that, it just, I like it. It's up my alley. It's what makes me happy. Shit like this, like little books about blaxploitation and fucking Asian film. Just, what do we have for time here? Okay, we're gonna move on to the tapes and DVDs. So we'll start with these ones right here. So there's a film fest in Canada, in Toronto, called Blood in the Snow, and every year they put on a film fest, and it's supposed to be really good. I think I've tried one film there, because it's like $25 a submission. Didn't make it, but hopefully one day I can have something screened there. But this is volume 1 and 2 of like 2 compilations of short films, which is cool, and hopefully a lot of them are Canadian, because I'm really into Canadian cinema right now. I've watched a lot of short films over this weekend, probably like 20. It was great. I love the whole experience of watching all these films. And you know, usually I went to Shock Stock for the stuff, but this year, well, because I had to film stuff, but I was in the screening room a lot, but I just watched a lot of cool films. It was a good time. Really badass. We got 2 Umberto Lenzi films, The House of Witchcraft and The House of Lost Souls. I've never heard of these films. I was looking for some either Fulci or Lenzi or Bava stuff I never heard of, and found those, so fuck yeah. Here's a couple of like locally produced, or maybe they're from the States, I don't know, but I would have went with the glossy finish on the paper, but because these are like homemade cases. But this is put out by, this one is Rock Bottom Video, and it's Guardia de Mail, and it's marketed as Rock Bottom Video returns with a slice of Italian cinema that will satisfy your comic and horror needs. So there's that. And then there's Chubbies, which I believe I bought this from the director Mike Hartman. And it's basically like a horror comedy set in a bowling alley. So, kind of reminds me of Halloween 3 right there. Like, if they had went with the gloss finish, it would have been I think it would have been better. But what do you know? I don't know if I already showed these or not. I hope I didn't. But I've tried making this video a few times, so if I showed these already, I apologize. We got Anthropophagus, which is a video nasty. I want to collect all the video nasties. I've yet to watch them all. I've watched like fucking 5. I've been slacking, but now I'm done school, so I can actually watch some more shit. So there's that. And then there's Combat Shock, which is a trauma film, but it's not. It's released by Trauma, but it's not a trauma film. It's supposed to be really fucking good. It's marketed as combines the New York City angst of Taxi Driver, the gritty nihilism of Fastbinder, and the unfiltered dementia of Eraserhead. So looking forward to watch that. I actually follow these guys on Instagram, Videonomicon, and I bought these 2 releases. This is from 2001. It's a Canadian film called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. And this is a film from 1982 called Runaway Nightmare. These are actually limited and numbered print or editions, so that's pretty cool. This one's got a red tape apparently, but really cool. Like, I follow these guys on IG, so I thought that was pretty cool. And like, I wanted to get more stuff like this, like these sort of homebrewed films on tape, like just to have on, like, just to be able to experience. And like I said, one day I want to be a person like that, trying to sell my shit at a festival. You know, living large basically, because it's cool, man. So these next batch of tapes, I should point out, if you've ever heard of Suspect Video in Toronto, these tapes came from that store. The first one is The Cat O' Nine Tails by Dario Argento. And I thought this was a Fulci film, but I was wrong. But the music's by Ennio Morricone, who did Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Django, a bunch of films. So, fuck yeah. We got The Return of the 5 Deadly Venoms. This guy, I forget his name, but he's amazing. He's in 3 Evil Masters as the good guy. The good master, anyway. Very, very... I have the first 5 Deadly Venoms, so stoked to have that. I believe this is David Cronenberg's first film, Shivers. So, I want to fucking watch this ASAP, because I love David Cronenberg. I love The Fly. I love Scanners and fucking Videodrome and all that shit. We got Asylum. Great fucking... I've never seen this, but I've heard this is better than Tales from the Crypt, better than Vault of Horror. It's an Amicus film, Peter Cushing, anthology film. Fuck yeah. And the last film is also an anthology film, and it's Body Bags on tape, finally. $5. Had to do it. Had to do it. And yeah, so a couple of Suspect videos. That's cool. We got the One More Time for the old VZ Madness. Show the Tokyo Scope. Fucking badass. Show this for Uncle Mike. Blaxploitation book. It was a good year at Shockstock. Got to see my shit play. Got to film Joe Bob. Good times had by all. So I think we'll end her there. Thanks for watching, YouTube, and stay tuned for more videos.